Morning Mindset, a daily dose of practical wit and wisdom with a professional educator and trainer, Amazon best-selling author, United States Marine, television and radio host, Paul G. Markle. Each episode will focus on positive and productive ways to strengthen your mindset and help you improve your relationships, career goals, and overall well-being. Please welcome your host, Paul G. Markle.
Hello, welcome back to Morning Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Markle. And do me a favor. Do your friends a favor, your relatives, people that you care about. If you've not taken the time to share this with someone else, do that today. I guarantee you, if you think hard enough, there's at least one person in your life that could benefit from a positive and productive way to start their day from the Morning Mindset Podcast. Many of you guys know, if you've been paying attention to this show, that one of the things that I did as a professional small arms and tactics instructor for the United States military was I taught land navigation. Land navigation, yes, using a map and a compass and a protractor and finding your way. Not only finding your way, but finding other unknown points, how to read a map, how to read a compass and use it. One of the techniques that we taught the students when I was part of the instructor corps was something called a back azimuth. Now, an azimuth is a direction, okay? It's as simple as that. And a back azimuth is this. If you know anything about a compass, it has 360 degrees on it, right? Okay. It goes 0 all the way back around to 359, etc. What is half of 360? You say 180, Paul. Even though I went to public school, I can answer that question. Good. So if you're on a bearing of 90 degrees, essentially what we would consider due east with a compass, and your back azimuth would be 180 degrees different. Now, if your direction is less than 180, you add 180. If it's more than 180, you subtract. You're like, oh man, we're doing math on the radio and that's crazy. I understand. Essentially, the reason that you teach people the concept or the understanding of the back azimuth is if they've got their compass, they've got their map, and they set out in a direction, and they know what direction they're heading, but for some reason, they need to stop and return. They need to get back to where it was they began from. The best way to do that is to quickly calculate a back azimuth. Now, we're using round numbers, like 90 or 270 or what have you, but your direction may have been 27 degrees. You have to figure out, and if it's 27, you add 180, turn around, and follow that direction on the compass back to where you started. The reason I'm discussing this today is because sometimes we run into troubles in our lives. We get lost. And I don't mean physically lost. I don't mean you're standing around and you have no idea where you are. What I mean is you've lost your way. Have you ever found yourself in a position where you think or you realize or you sit down and you say, man, this is not where I expected to be. This isn't where I expected to be in my life, in my career. I really feel lost. I feel as though I am lost. Well, keeping in our lesson from land navigation, maybe it's time for you to shoot a back azimuth. Maybe it's time for you to take your proverbial compass, turn around, and go back to the beginning. Return to the basics. And you say, but Paul, I'm not actually physically lost. No, but you may feel lost. You may feel as though you have lost your way. That's when you can sit down and say, all right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to shoot a back azimuth, and I'm going to turn around 180 degrees, and I'm going to go back to where I wasn't lost. I'm going to go back to a position, to a part of my life where I feel like I wasn't lost. For instance, maybe in your current career field, you're overwhelmed. Wherever your job happens to be, you're feeling very, very overwhelmed. You're feeling unprepared to face the challenges of the day. You're making mistakes that you shouldn't be making, and you are frustrated. And you say, why am I making these mistakes? Why do I feel like this? I want you to think back before the current situation, and when were you on track? Just like the Back Azimuth. You say, the reason we do that is because we feel like we need to get back to where we were. So go think back to when it was that you were confident, that you were making good decisions, that you were moving forward productively. Think about what you were doing and why and what has changed. You say, man, like you may sit down and think, 18 months ago, things were going well. I was on track. I knew what I wanted. I was achieving, and everything was great. And here I am, and I just feel lost. I'm frustrated all the time. Think about what changed. Did you add friends, lose friends? Did you move to a different location? What's going on in your life? Sometimes when we get frustrated, we get lost in our lives, you need to turn around and go back to the beginning. You need to get back to the basics. Perhaps you thought that this new job, on paper, it seemed like it was going to be great. Oh man, it's going to be really great. And now you find yourself a year or two down the line, and you're gaining weight, your hair's falling out, you feel like you're going to die. Your blood pressure's through the roof. You're like, man, I thought this new job was going to be fantastic. It even pays me more money, but I feel like I'm at death's door. I'm taking blood pressure medication. I'm overweight. I never have time for myself, but I'm making more money. Could be that you need to go back to where you were before when things were going well. And I can't tell you specifically because I don't know your specific issue in your specific life, but I can tell you this. Every once in a while, if you're feeling troubled, if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling like you're frustrated and don't know what to do, that might be a good time to return to the basics, move back to the beginning, and reevaluate. All right, there you go. That's it. That's it for today. Sometimes you just need to shoot a back azimuth and go back to the beginning. Start over again. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all, man. It's like chutes and ladders. Sometimes you got to go back and start at the beginning. The young kids in the office, they're like, in the audience. Young kids in the audience are like, chutes and ladders? What? But you older folks know. All right, if you'd like to read more from your benevolent host, me, Paul Markle, you can do it really easily. Go to Amazon.com, and I have several books there, including Dad Rules, Wit and Wisdom from a Dad to Whom It May Concern, if I say so myself. If you're looking for a unique gift for your father this coming Father's Day, or for your husband, or for your grandfather, or whomever, go to Amazon.com, order it. It'll be there well before Father's Day, and there you go. You have a very unique gift to give your dad, or your husband, or your grandpa, or whomever. I am your host, Paul Markle, and I will talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for spending time with us today. To get show notes, submit a topic request, and for more from your host, Paul G. Markle, visit morningmindsetpodcast.com. That's morningmindsetpodcast.com. Please leave a review for this podcast on your favorite podcast player. We appreciate your time and effort, and we look forward to reading your honest feedback.